In this video, we'll discuss how to save and organize the files of a website. As we know, websites are made up of code and media files. The way we organize those website files is referred to as directory structure. The term directory is another word for folder. All files are stored in one main directory called the root directory. The HTML file for the home page is always saved directly in the root and must be named index.html. The other website files can live right inside the root, or they can be placed in subdirectories to keep them organized in any way you want. For example, it's common to put all images inside their own folder. You may also want to nest pages in subdirectories for better organization. For instance, in a blog website, you may want to put all blog posts in a post directory. Just make sure the names of all the files and folders are all lowercase and contain no spaces. When writing links between one page and another, the directory structure determines the file path. Written file paths illustrate the location of a file relative to the current file. Let's think about it this way. If a website is a house, and we need to find things inside our house, we might say, go to the first door on the left, then down the hall to the kitchen. In the top drawer, find a fork. The location is relative because if you said to look in the top drawer in the bedroom instead of the kitchen, you would find different items. Okay, back to our website folders. Let's look at how these file paths are written. If we're linking pages saved in the same directory, such as from the home page to blog.html, we simply write the file name blog.html. But if we wanted to link from the home page to schedule.html, we have to tell it to go into the subdirectory named events and look for the specific file. In that case, the file path would be written like this: the name of the folder, which is events, followed by a slash, and then the name of the file, which is schedule.html. Now, if we're going from the home page to pop.html, the process is the same. We just add an extra directory. So it becomes art/styles/pop.html. Now, what if we want to link from warhol.html to blog.html? Now we're going up directory levels in the directory structure instead of down. To do so, we use ... to signify the parent directory rather than writing the directory name. So the path looks like this. ... takes me up one directory to art, then another ... takes me up one more level into the root, and then we add the file name blog.html. So far, we've been talking about finding files in our own site using relative file paths. But when we point at something on a different website, we use absolute file paths. Let's return to our house metaphor. If websites are houses, and we need to tell someone how to find something in someone else's house, we would use that house's address. So we might say, find 124 Main Street, then go into the kitchen, then go to the top drawer and find a fork. So the file paths work the same way, but we need to specify which domain name, also referred to as a web address, that we're talking about first. It's easy to see directory structure in use when you look at the URL bar in your browser. In the URL, the domain name points directly to the root directory of the website. If the domain name is written by itself, with no folders or files after it, the browser automatically looks for the index.html file in the root directory, which is why it's so important to correctly name index.html and make sure it is located in the root. Sometimes you'll also see directories or files written in the URL bar after the domain name. You can read these just like any other file path, with words followed by slashes indicating folders and anything ending in a file path indicating a file. So to recap, the term directory means folder. Website files are organized into directories and subdirectories. The top-level directory is called the root, and the home page of the site is always named index.html and must be saved directly inside of the root. We can link to other pages in the same directory by writing a relative file path that indicates where the files are in relation to each other. And finally, directory structure is visible in relative and absolute file paths, as well as URLs in the web browser.